everyone, welcome to Awaken Into Love. It is the place to be if you're looking for wisdom, support, compassion, education, and an incredible community of people from all around the world who experience the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same sensations. Yes, you're not alone, Yana, as you, Relationship OCD. Now today I'm going to be talking to you all about being young and having ROCD. So if you are in high school, maybe you're in college, maybe you're after college, and you consider yourself young, and you're feeling the societal expectations and the pressures of being in a relationship or not being in a relationship, and you're experiencing ROCD, then hey, this video is all for you. And the other exciting thing about this video is that if you don't consider yourself young, then this video is still for you, because I added a lot of different wisdom, a lot of different nuggets, a lot of different information that I have a feeling will help anyone with ROCD. So as many of you know, I can really relate to this topic. I can really resonate, and when I wrote this blog post and as I am recording it, I'm so excited because there's a lot that's going to come out that I have a feeling will be so helpful for you. And as always with Awaken Into Love, we really look at life and our relationship as a means to help us awaken, help us grow into ourself and also into our partnership. So it's going to be different from a lot of other videos that you see about being young and about being in a relationship. We're going to take a awakened into love perspective, and I have a feeling that will really empower you and help you, because life in so many ways and society really tries to keep us small, disempowered, when the reality is that we have this potential of healing, this potential of growth. And if we can look at our challenges and our difficulties in that light, then life gets easier, then it gets juicier, and our relationship gets more exciting as well. So as many of you know, I started dating my husband when I was 17 years old. He was 15 years old. We went through high school together, we went through college together, and then we got married last year. So we've been together for a long time. We know what it's like to be young and in a serious relationship. And with that comes a lot of challenges. I'm not going to just make this video and lie and say, hey, it's super easy. Being young and being in a relationship is so easy, because a lot of times we might notice ourselves stumbling a little bit more than someone who is older, because we have people telling us different things. We have people around us who are not necessarily in long-term serious relationships. We might feel as though we're alone. We might not feel like people understand. And we might feel as though there's something wrong with us because others aren't doing the same thing as us. So I, of course, understand what it's like. I get it. I was young when I had ROCD. I was around the age of 18, 19, 20. I sometimes fluctuate between the numbers because I don't remember. It feels like it was such a long time ago, over 10 years ago. And so I really get it. I really understand what it's like. In this video, I'm going to go through 5 different ways you can use your challenges with ROCD and being young as a way to awaken you, as a way to actually help you and strengthen your life and your relationship even deeper. Number 1, people will constantly tell you that they know better than you. And if they don't tell it to your face, they might drop little hints here and there and tell you that you don't know better, that you're too young, that in the future you might regret this, that in the future you might look back and wish that you did something else, that the 20s are for your fun times, right? I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. Now, if you're personally struggling through this specific concept and you're struggling with people telling you this and feeling like you're so disempowered because they're telling you opposite from what you want to hear, then this can be a great opportunity for you to use this in a way to learn to trust yourself, be your own leader, and be your own parent. So what do I mean by that? Our society is filled with unsolicited advice. People are constantly projecting their own insecurities, their own wounds, their own traumas onto everyone else. Now this can feel disheartening. You can be going around and being like, that's not the advice I want. I don't want to hear that. And in a lot of ways, they're just using their own experience and they're using their projections to try to help you. But that doesn't mean that their answers are necessarily right. So what can we do in this opportunity? We can use it in a way to trust ourselves, listen to ourselves. We don't have to listen to other people's stories. And Awaken Into Love is all about this. A lot of times we ask our clients and our members, whose story is that? And they might step back and be like, oh, that's my mom's story. That's my dad's story. That's my sister's story, because she's scared of me being hurt, because she's projecting her lack of control onto me, because she wants to control me, because she wants to love me, and this is the only way she feels she can do it. Now, whose story is that? And that specific question can be such a powerful question because it can bring us back into, oh, this story isn't mine. Where did I get it from? I got it from society. I got it from media. I got it from the Hollywood image of what love should look like. Learning to trust yourself is one of the most useful tools in life. You don't have to listen to other people's opinions. You get to choose. So if you're struggling with this specific belief, if you keep hearing this all the time and you feel disempowered, use it as a way to empower yourself. How can you be your own leader? How can you be your own parent? How can you use this opportunity to trust you and listen to your story and what resonates with you instead of what everyone else around you is doing and saying to you? Second thing that will most likely come up for you is the fact that people around you will most likely be doing something different from you. FOMO, the fear of missing out, right? The fear of missing out, of going and meeting a bunch of people, of dating around, of being single, of having these experiences when the people around you are doing the same. As a society and as humans, we want belonging. We want to belong. We want to feel as though we're belonging in a community. We want to feel as though we're belonging in family and in the world. Many times people with ROCD will say, oh, this FOMO is making me feel empty. It's making me feel like I'm missing out on something. It's making me feel like I'm abandoned. It's making me feel like I'm not enough. Yes, FOMO is meant to make you feel that way. So a lot of times people with FOMO will feel empty inside, feeling as though they need to be doing something that other people are doing, when in reality, that's actually not what they want. And this is especially evident as being a teen, as being a college student, because there's a lot of people who are building community. There's a lot of people around you who may be doing the same type of things. So really distinguish yourself with how you're feeling, and also the FOMO, the fear of missing out, can absolutely make someone feel as though they want to be doing something when in reality, it's just the emptiness, the abandonment that they may be feeling that's causing them to question what they're doing in their relationship as well. So how we can use this as an awakening experience. If you experience FOMO, if you feel as though you're missing out on different things or you're worried that you're missing out, then start to practice the art of gratitude and also the art of being enough. Because in a lot of ways, FOMO is this idea that we're not enough, that we need to be different, that we need to be doing something different. So if you're struggling with this concept, see if you can use this as an awakening experience to feel into the gratitude. What do you have in front of you? Who do you have in front of you? What type of life do you have in front of you? Because this can definitely be also aside from relationships, but also the life that you're living, right? In a lot of ways. So this can be an incredible opportunity to practice gratitude, the practice of enough, and also the fact that you are enough as well. Number 3, adopting the wolf mentality versus the sheep mentality can feel uncomfortable. So this is really similar to the FOMO one, but this is basically saying while everyone else is doing the exact same thing, you might feel as though you're alone because you're in a long-term relationship, because you're young and you're in a serious relationship, because you've been with your partner for X amount of years and everyone else is single, partying, meeting other people, and doing different things. So it might feel uncomfortable in a lot of ways to be different. And to be different is okay. Forge your own path. Forge your own journey with what you are going through. You don't have to be doing the same thing that everyone else is doing. A lot of times people don't even question what they're doing, but they do it anyway because everyone else is doing it. You can use this experience to awaken by creating your own path, by not automatically doing what others do, by checking in with yourself before you are thinking of doing something, right? Starting to become empowered within yourself, using this opportunity to empower yourself by listening to yourself and creating the own path for you. Because other people are doing something doesn't mean it's necessarily good for them. And a lot of times we get caught up in this idea that, well, if someone else is doing it, then I should probably do it too, especially when we're teens, especially when we're in college. You can use this as an opportunity to question yourself and the world around you. Questioning our reality and also our society is one of the greatest and most empowering things that we can do. We don't have to be the sheep within everyone else doing the same thing. The other important lesson that I really do want to say is that just because you might feel as though you're a wolf doesn't mean that the sheep are wrong. We don't necessarily want to look down on other people who might be taking a different path and say, oh, they're doing it wrong. They don't know better, because that's their own journey as well. Number 4, society will always project. So the interesting thing about society is that our expectations are constantly changing. What was considered normal back in the day is not considered normal anymore. What's considered normal now in society was not considered normal hundreds of years ago. Back in the day, people used to marry when they were 14 years old, 13 years old. They used to work when they were children. They would have children and grandchildren in their 20s. When we look at society right now, Not many people have grandchildren in their 20s, and to get married when we're 11 or 12 is very uncommon, not okay, and it is not accepted as normal. I wrote a couple things down in comparison to how they used to be in the past versus the similarity of what people are saying now. So in the past, they might have said, you shouldn't date around. You're being sloppy. You need to stick to one person for the rest of your life. But now they might be saying, you need to date around. Why are you staying with one person? Don't you want to experience more? Others might have said in the past, since you're older, the relationship won't last. You need to have a strong foundation from youth. Now they might say, since you're young, the relationship won't last. In the past, they might have said, you must settle now. Your first partner is the most important. You give them all your love. Now they might say, don't settle for your first partner. You need to be with other people. Back in the past, they might have said, you're too young to know. You need to marry now. Now they're saying, you're too young to know. You need to marry later. Back in the past, they might have said, this is the best you get. You make it work and focus on the marriage and relationship. Now they might have said, there's so much more out there. Keep exploring. Back in the past, they would have said 20s are for children and your late 20s are for your grandchildren. Now they might say 20s are for fun. Don't have a baby or get married. So there's a bunch of other things that you can read in the blog post that I wrote down all about. You can use this as an opportunity to awaken you in this way. Our reality is constantly changing, and so is our society. So is what is accepted as normal. So we can see that it's really subjective. It's not necessarily concrete in a way where this is what we have to do. This is what we have to do to be happy. This is what we have to do to live the good life, because it is different for everyone, and it's different according to how our society is functioning. So here's the basis. You get to decide your reality. If reality is constantly changing, and if what was normal back in the day is not normal now, then in the future, what's normal now will most likely not be normal in the future. So hey, at the end of the day, you get to decide what works for you, and you get to decide your reality. This means that there's no set way of doing it right or needing to do a certain thing. It's what you decide works for you and how you work with it. Number 5, the fear of commitment, engulfment, and the idea and fear of forever. The idea of forever can feel really scary. That's at least something that I resonate with, and I haven't necessarily done my inner deep work around it just because I've decided to just work with it. Yes, the idea of forever is scary for me, and I use this practice in a lot of ways to just focus on the now, to focus on presence, and that's one thing that I really drive with a lot of my clients who tend to focus so far out in the future of 10 years, of 20 years, of what if it's not forever, of what if in 10 years something happens. I say to them, hey, we are not guaranteed of tomorrow. We're not guaranteed of the next day. We're not guaranteed of this hour. So use this practice and use this fear as a way to focus on the now, to focus on what's going on today, to focus on what's going on in the moment, because that's where aliveness happens. That's where this life happens. That's where this love happens and this relationship happens. And if all we have is now, then what an incredible opportunity when anxiety comes in to bring ourselves back to the now, to bring ourselves back to this moment. So I hope that video was helpful for you. Again, there's so much more in the blog post, and I put a lot of my attention actually into the blog post more than today's video, but I did want to shoot a video because it's video day every other Thursday, and I do love shooting, and I do love being in front of the camera and telling you guys all about ROCD and love and education and relationships. But feel free to check out the blog post. You'll find a lot more information there and how to help you use this opportunity of being young with ROCD awaken you deeper into yourself, and awaken you into deeper love with your partner. If you're new, feel free to sign up for the free ROCD checklist. You can find that at awakenintolove.com. And if you're looking for a strong community and you're looking for a course to help you find freedom from ROCD, then you can go to awakenintolove.com and click the ROCD course and community. There's almost 400 members. Actually, there is 400 members. There's over 400 members of people from all around the world who are in this community. So you're so not alone. Yana, here's to being human. I'll talk to you all in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye-bye.